Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, CeeChronicles here, back again with another fragrance video. If you're joining us for the very first time, I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate it, guys, if you did consider subscribing. And to those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Welcome to another compilation of 20 fragrances that I would love to recommend, as ideal feminine fragrances you could gift somebody this festive season or actually purchase for yourself. I'm going to pick the fragrances here and tell you whom these fragrances would be suited. Okay, so the very first one is going to be from the house of Latafa. This mainly because of the presentation. I'm going to put the box on the screen. You will see for yourself. The presentation for this is on steroids, and that makes it a perfect gift. However, the juice itself, guys, is ideal for somebody who loves florals, especially piercing florals. These piercing florals have got a fruity undertone in them there. It could be blackberry or blackcurrant. I'm forgetting which one, but it is the florals that, do the most. If you're looking at purchasing a fragrance that's going to be in the same vein as the Gucci Blooms, that kind of thing, this is going to do it for you guys. Lasting power on this one is also great because the florals are piercing. It is also a gift I would recommend for somebody, say, from 18 upwards. Why? Because of that green tone that this fragrance has, which can sometimes be associated with mature fragrances. It's called Iman and it's sitting, guys, on our number 1. The second recommendation is from the House of Pandora, subsidiary of Paris Corner. You can pick out Paris Corners, guys, from Aroma Concepts, but this is not a sponsored video. This one is called Le Cure. The rose, obviously drawing its inspiration from a Chloe fragrance. This is going to be rose, and more rose. It's going to feel like you're walking in a floral garden just after the rain. The rose in here comes across as piercing and green and very photorealistic. In as much as it has that piercing feel that you get in the opening, lasting about 2 hours or so, the longevity for this one is not exactly absolutely amazing because the fragrance in itself completely tones down in the 3-4 hour mark, completely maybe going away after the 5th hour mark there. So I'm going to cap this one at about 5 hours. In case you were wondering what else it smells like, this to my nose smells exactly like Versace's Bright Crystal. So if you love Bright Crystal or the person you're gifting loves Bright Crystal, despite or regardless of how old they are, they're going to love Le Cure, the rose, guys, and it's sitting on our number 2 from the House of Paris Corner. The third recommendation from the House of Milestone is going to be Mouage Ice Age. Now, this Mouge or Mouge, M-O-U-J Ice Age is a very beautiful, complex fragrance to my nose. This is the sort of fragrance I would gift a mature, carefree person who loves their fragrances, even leaning a bit complex there. I get creamy florals there, bold sandalwood that comes almost immediately as you spray this fragrance. It's something that feels like pepper note, florals as well, soothed, in that creamy backdrop, whether they were trying, their hand at Lineage or they were going for another fragrance. It's just a gorgeous fragrance overall. When I was adding it to this collection, something came to mind that they may have been going for Armani Privé Blue Turquoise, but do not quote me on that. It's called Mouge Ice Age and it's from the House of Milestone. Another one from Milestone is this one. This one is called Amethyst for Her, right? Presentation, packaging, everything screams that this fragrance was going for CH's Privé line Amethyst Haze, right? Whether or not they nailed it, I don't know, but it's a pretty decent enough fragrance to purchase for yourself or to gift somebody. But make sure you love lavender because I get a piercing lavender note in this fragrance. There is some vanilla there, some pepper as well. This to me comes across as the ideal gift for a working class woman or a woman who just loves to smell good, but make sure that they do love their fragrances spicy and aromatic there, with especially the lavender doing the most there. It's called Amethyst for Her and is from the House of Milestone. Fifth on the lineup, guys, is Infini Elixir, a fragrance from Maison Alhambra, drawing its inspiration inspiration from Initio's side effects. This fragrance would be suited for a person who's got a huge collection or a person who doesn't like to smell like the rest of them, because this fragrance is complex. It's built around the rum note. It is a DNA that presents as unconventional, non-traditional, that sort of thing. So I wouldn't pick this one, say, as a gift for somebody who loves their fragrances done in the designer, fragrance type of, way, like the Via Bells, the Mon Paris, that sort of thing. This gives me niche vibes in the sense that it is quite complicated. Expect some rum, some tobacco, expect a lot of spices there, but with cinnamon doing the most, and a boozy take to it. But this is not like a drunken boozy, guys. It just gives you like a boozy backdrop, but it's very different. So this is a fragrance I would give to somebody who's either mature again or a person who's got a huge collection, so it wouldn't come as a shock to them. It's called Infini Elixir and it's from the house of Maison Alhambra. On 6th position, guys, is from the house of Amarth, and this one is called Italiano Donna. When I decided to compile my Amarth collection, I then remembered my Italiano Donna. I'm going to confess I hadn't used this one in a while, so it was just sitting there macerating and macerating. This, guys, draws its inspiration from Dolce & Gabbana's Pour Form Intense. This is going to be a fragrance that has that crowd-pleasing appeal. This, I'm not going to cap at any age group. This you can, gift from a teen to a mature person. A creamy white floral that is seductive, that is alluring, built around a fluffy marshmallow backdrop. Another good thing about this one, guys, it's beastly. This one is probably going to last you till the next wash, so it's going to be value for money there. It's Italiano Donna, and it's sitting, guys, on our number 6. On 7th position, guys, is going to be this one from Ad Al Zafran. This is Jazab Gold, targeted for women. This I decided to drop here, guys, because it's going to be an easy reach type of situation, a compliment magnet, a crowd-pleasing fragrance. If you're purchasing your fragrances, online, this is one that is likely not going to disappoint, because the DNA in itself comes across as very likable. I likened this one in its full review to Le Nuit Trésor Kerosene than the actual Le Nuit Trésor. Why I did liken it to Kerosene, guys, is this kind of takes a fruity turn there. It's not so much about the dusty, thick, polarizing rose in here. It does feel to me like a flanker than Le Nuit Trésor. So no age group when it comes to this one. Lasting power is 8 hours plus. Jazab Gold from the house of Ad Al Zafran. The next one, guys, is Lean from the house of Latafa. Now, Lean, let me just get this one out of the way at the same time, because we're talking about the Latafa Pride now. Lean and Affection do not smell the same, but Lean is the reason why I haven't bought Affection in full size, in as much as I'm going to recommend it to you as a perfect gift in a minute. Lean, guys, is a fragrance that just made me put the brakes on purchasing some of the smaller ones in big sizes, because this completely shocked me. This, guys, is your smoothest mango. Mature, alluring, sexy mango. It is not the mango like that in Yara Tooth. It's not like a juicy mango. It's like it's like wafts of a mango. It's like just a blanket of a mango. It's like a backdrop of a mango. I don't know how to explain it, guys. But anyway, as for the scent itself, it gives me a grown-up woman who loves to dress up real nice, a person who doesn't joke when it comes to smelling good, because this smells very expensive, lasts a long while. I sprayed this one after it had sat for a month, guys, in my collection, and this thing was just everywhere. So this I would gift a mother, a working class woman, a mature woman, somebody who has smelt a lot of fragrances that you would actually want to wow with something different. Okay, so when I say mango, don't let this one take you on just a tropical mental shortcut. This is a mango soothed there with a perfect silky backdrop of the florals doing the most in this. Delicate, but has presence. It's called Lean, guys, and it's sitting on our number 8. Okay, then next up is going to be Affection. And if this bottle looks odd to you, that is because it's a mini. It actually comes in a big black bottle, which I'm going to put on the side of the screen. This is a crowd-pleasing mix of that pistachio, very sweet fragrance. It is a fragrance that I would give to somebody who loves their fragrances to speak, somebody who wears fragrances, guys, for compliments. There's a lot going on in in this fragrance. You're going to have that green leading pistachio there, an aromatic tone to it there, and it's going to give you wafts of an ice cream. I actually get the ice cream note from this than the original that is inspired by. If a person loves ice cream toned fragrances, very sweet fragrances there, youthful, upbeat, they love their fragrances to take over the moment, then they would be the ideal person to gift affection from Latafa Pride. Next up, guys, from the House of Paris Corner is going to be Eternal Musk, a fragrance that I'm going to recommend for somebody who works, with a lot of people, say frontline workers. If you know a nurse, if you know a teacher, if you know somebody who works, amongst a lot of people, or somebody who doesn't like their fragrances to shout, this is the sort of fragrance that may be ideal for them. It's a soft musk. It does have some florals there, but it's a cashmere musk. Yeah, that the wearer gets to enjoy more than the people around them. It just leaves like a very soft, delicate, powdery scent bubble around the wearer. A fragrance that I would also recommend as a bedtime scent because of that comforting nature that it has. This gives me grown-up sexy though. Not like mature or dated, but it just gives me like a grown-up sexy type of vibes. Unfortunately, because the profile is soft in general, do expect this one to last for about 4 to 5 hours pushing it. It's called Eternal Musk from the House of Paris Corner. Next up, guys, is going to be Muna from the House of Latafa, a rose and fruit combo that comes across to the nose as a bit jammy, a bit sticky there, claiming itself as a feminine scent, pushing to even femme fatale. You're going to get 7 to 8 hours on about 10 to 12 sprays with this particular fragrance, guys. Just make sure that the person loves a jammy leaning rose there, but very easy to like. It's called Muna, guys, from the House of Latafa. And if you know somebody who loves Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Bel, they're going to love this fragrance, guys. I have almost finished mine, okay, because this one up to now is performing average. However, it nails that Jean Paul Gaultier DNA. If you're gifting somebody who loves that DNA, they're gonna absolutely thank you for gifting them this one. It has that plum doing the most there, together with some florals, comes across as a jammy, almost like that Muna, but they're not the same. It comes across like it's got like that jammy accord to it. This is a fragrance that I'm not gonna cap any age at because it is pretty easy to love. It's called Glacier Belle from the House of Maison Alhambra. Next up, guys, is gonna be Mocha Silky Rose from the House of Latafa. This is going to be ideal for somebody who loves powdery, musky fragrances built around like a candy tone there, even marshmallowy there, but with two florals that stick out the most, which is iris and violet. So if you know somebody who loves fragrances built around iris, built around the violet flower, then they're going to love this one. It does have the very powdery wrap up around it, which is relatable to anybody from the very young person to say a mature person. It gives me that candy that wraps the powder that will make this one very likable even for youngsters. But the same powder is the same reason why I'm saying can go up to mature. So this you can totally give to anybody as long as they like violet forward fragrances, iris forward fragrances, musky powdery fragrances, and that candy tone in their fragrances. It's called Mocha Silky Rose from the House of Latafa. The next fragrance is Amarf's Imperial, your quintessential femme fatale fragrance, drawing its inspiration from PDM's Delina Exclusive. And if you know Delina Exclusive, you will know that it actually did put PDM on the map there in terms of their Delina line, because it's a gorgeous lychee, rose, rhubarb scent. It's got a bit of some incense there, very hard not to like, complex as well. So if you know somebody who's looking for a fragrance along them lines, then you can totally gift this one, Amarf's Club de Nuit Imperial. The next two are fragrances that you want to give to somebody who loves the Burberry Her Elixir fragrance. These are clones of that particular fragrance, but they are from two different houses. This one's called Optimistic Her from Fragrance World. It's got like a pinkish metal thing around it there. That's how you'll know that this one is inspired by the Elixir, because there is one with a silver and then there is one with a white, if I'm not mistaken, white like a thingy there, that metal thing. Now this one is from Latafa's Rave Now line, also inspired by Burberry Her. These fragrances smell the same. The only difference is this I would probably give to say a youngster going upwards. By youngster, I mean maybe the teens going upwards, because it's got like a fluffy, creamy strawberry thing that wraps it around. Well, this one is pretty straightforward. They're lacking a little bit in the creaminess, but they are inspired, guys, by the same thing. If the person doesn't like fragrances that kind of feel like tonic, then I'm going to say, take this one. But if they like fluffy, candied fragrances, then this one's going to be the best, for them. So these two guys are inspired by Burberry Her Elixir. Next up is a fragrance that you can totally blind buy if you love fruity forward fragrances, spicy, fruity fragrances. There, photorealistic sparkling apple is what you're going to get from here, together with other, of course, fruits there. There are spices in this fragrance that make it 70% feminine and maybe 30% wearable by men. It's got like a spicy, a little bit woody undertone there, but no Middle Eastern traces. This, my daughter completely loves. She's 16, but I can see this one being worn even by somebody who's younger than her and somebody who's way, way older. So it is a DNA. I'm not going to cap an age group on. Betty Al Oud Sublime from the house of Lattafa. Another apple, but this time with a green twist. This is going to be your Granny Smith apple. The green one is Valencia. Okay, Valencia from the House of Sweets Arabian, drawing its inspiration from Montal's Starry Nights. If you know somebody who loves a very sticky, sweet fragrances there, it starts off as jammy, sweet, very fruity there, but will make way to like a cologne thing. This is why I said at the beginning of the video that I do have like 3 or 4 that can be classed as unisex. This one is one of them. Beastly in performance, drawing its inspiration from Starry Night, is Valencia from the House of Swiss Arabian. The next fragrance, Fire Your Desire from Paris Corner, drawing its inspiration, guys, from Angel's Share, but not as in your face as Angel's Share. There is a crispy undertone to this fragrance. Apple pie-ish. This kind of gives me a Christmassy vibe to it. This is why I added it to this collection. This has got the cinnamon doing the most, together with an allspice kind of vibe there. A little bit of a booziness in this fragrance. So this is going to be a bit complex there. You want to gift this one to somebody who's got a vast collection, somebody who maybe loves their fragrances to be different. Of course, somebody who loves Angel's Share, and somebody who loves complex fragrances. Lasting power for this one is about 6 to 7 hours on about 10 to 12 sprays, guys. It's called Fire Your Desire from Paris Corner. 19 is from our stuff, guys, and this one is called Privé Rose. So if you know somebody who loves rose, but they like their rose a bit playful there, sweet as well, with a little bit of a Talina tone there, they're gonna love this fragrance, guys. I do get a little bit of a lychee thing going on in there, even rhubarb as well. Not an outright Delina dupe, but if, for instance, Imperial is pricey, then you could pull a trigger on this one. Last till the next wash. It's called Privé Rose and it's from the House of Stuff. The last one on the lineup is going to be Haya. This is just your girly, womanly, feminine type of fragrance, guys, built around the champagne note and florals with the jasmine that's going to do the most at the end there, which is, in the 2-3 hour mark. It opens up to a jasmine, but as you spray it, like I sprayed it here, it's going to give you a fruity burst. However, if the person is very young, then maybe you may not want to purchase this one for them. Instead, you may want to purchase, say, the Sublime for them, because this one has got that shift where it starts off as a fragrance that I can totally allow my daughter to wear, but she might come back and say, oh, it ended up giving me a headache, because in the end it has like that indolic jasmine that opens up there amidst the fizzy champagne note there. This one is called Haya, and it is the last one, guys, on the list. So that's it, guys. That is a wrap. Those were 20 feminine fragrances from the Middle East that I thought to recommend as great gifts for this festive season. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do turn on post notifications, guys, while you're at it. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Please do like and share this video, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.